Interesting exchange here between Guns N' Roses member Duff McKagen and a woman from TMZ. I didn't realize this was controversial at all, but on The Simpsons, they sell, or they have a product called Duff Beer. Homer's favorite beer is Duff Beer,
yeah.
D-U-F-F. And I guess...
They had Duff Man.
Oh, yeah.
Duff Blimp.
So for a while, I guess, the rumor has been that they named the beer after Duff McKagen, and it's made for guys who sit around drinking beer, sit on their duff all day, and that kind of stuff. And they just, at the time, it was a good name, and they took it. But they have denied, the Simpsons makers have denied that they named it after Duff McKagen of Guns N' Roses.
But he firmly believes they did, correct?
Well,
the rocker?
That was the question the woman from TMZ asked him. Because, and they're doing the math on this, Guns N' Roses dropped their biggest album in 1987, Appetite for Destruction. And then The Simpsons came out about a year and a half or 2 years later. And so for Simpsons producers to say we've never heard of Guns N' Roses in 1989 would have been ridiculous. Now, I knew Guns N' Roses, but I didn't know each individual member of Guns N' Roses.
No, but you're more of a tween girl. I mean, everybody by that point.
That's an insult.
That's untoward.
That's unneeded.
It's untoward. It's unnecessary.
But you were listening to
Debbie Gibson.
Yes.
Tiffany.
Right. Who were the expose? You were listening to that.
Yeah.
Expose. Mm-hmm. Loved it. Out of the blue. Whatever. Yes.
I don't know if I would have called him a tween girl. That's over the line.
All right. Fine.
He remains to this day a tween girl.
Today, my favorites are Rodrigo, Swift. I'm a Swiftie for sure.
Yeah.
There are others.
Eilish.
Oh, Eilish.
Yeah.
Yes. Where was I? Oh, somebody said, I know my daughter and her friend, we were playing mini golf. They're 15. And Taylor Swift came on. I was like, yeah. And both of them were like, okay.
Pipe down.
Enough already.
Does your dad always do that? Yes.
It's a little embarrassing. Like they were over Taylor Swift, I was like, "Oh, Taylor, it's Taylor."
But my point it was that by that time, if you were into rock and roll, somewhat, I mean, you knew the members of Guns N' Roses. They were the biggest band in the world.
No doubt, they're the biggest
close
band
to it.
But can you be a fan of? I mean, I was a fan of top 40 music. It was on quite a bit. I heard them all the time. I knew that's Guns N' Roses, but I never knew the names of really any members of any bands, save like the Rolling Stones and the Beatles, Is it possible somebody into entertainment as much as the makers of The Simpsons don't know who Duff McKagen is, even if they've heard of Guns N' Roses?
Oof.
Maybe. They're in California, though. Maybe.
Yeah, but they were global by that point.
Oh, I know. They were.
But I think, The Simpsons always said it was just about sitting on your duff. I mean, my mom used to say that. Mm-hmm. Get off your duff.
Of course.
Yeah.
I kind of believe them, but I don't think I would have gone so far as to say we'd never heard of Guns N' Roses.
That's what makes it weird. Yeah.
So the woman from TMZ catches Duff McKagen walking through a parking lot and says, "What's all this hullabaloo about Duff Beer and The Simpsons?" And he seemed very laid back about it.
We just did that story about how you thought The Simpsons created Duff Beer based on your name.
Did I say that?
Did you? Do you think that?
Wait, rephrase the question.
So The Simpsons Duff...
I think it's hilarious that they're kind of going nuts on this thing.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
How come?
Because I never treated it as a big deal. And how doth thou protest?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The creator responded and basically said that they hadn't heard of Guns N' Roses, which your biggest album, Appetite for Destruction, came out in 87.
Do the math.
Right? And then 89, this when The Simpsons premiered.
To me, it's kind of hilarious. It doesn't matter at all.
Get out of the way.
Let's go, Duff.
Hello.
Axel's waiting. He's in the band,
They're
too.
they're in a little...
I figured they were to Ralph's. Yo, hey!
Out of the way.
You got the chips?
Get out
You
of
get the
way.
Dr. Pepper?
But she kept pressing it, and he's like, it doesn't really matter to me.
Just appreciate if they acknowledge.
I don't care.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Give credit where credit is due, right?
I don't care.
I don't care. I don't care.
Now, I've not seen anyone on The Simpsons say we'd never heard of Guns N' Roses. That's her
saying
reporting.
that. That's right. I think
I can't, that beggars imagination.
I feel like they may have said we had never heard of Duff McKagen.
Mm-hmm.
I know they had heard of Guns N' Roses.
Yeah.
I'm saying that's possible.
I feel like if they had said we've never heard of Duff McKagen, I would believe them more. Because to me, when you think of Guns N' Roses, it's Axl, then it's Slash,
100%,
and then it's the band.
I agreed. And
somewhere Izzy Stradlin weeps.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Now
Yeah, he does.
Now, when I was 18, that's when Guns N' Roses was like everywhere. 17, 18 years old.
Jungle.
I mean, huge.
Sweet Child.
Yes. Chris Demm is right. I didn't know the members. I knew Axl. I'd probably Slash. I didn't know the others. Yeah. I was a tween girl.
In your music habits.
In my music habits. I'll tell you this. When I stayed at Myrtle Beach, senior week, 1989. This is the 35th anniversary of that, but it's probably there now. Okay. Well, no, it was early June. We were there. And anytime anybody knock on the door, we'd all sing Patience. And, you know, it's like, hey, wait a minute. We're coming to the door. Patience. Have a little patience.
God, how high were you?
It was so much funnier then.
We did that. We did that a lot.
Did you whistle? Or were you too high to whistle?
I couldn't.
Yeah, really?
My lips aren't working, man.
I could not. I couldn't do that. I couldn't do that. No one could. No one could do that. We were all like, patient, have a little. Yeah. God, that was a good time. Man, that was a good time.
Yeah, we have a couple of, we had a nephew graduate high school, and some of the kids in our neighborhood have graduated, and we've been to some of the parties. And Beach Week is not the thing that it was when I graduated and when you graduated. Biggie, I'm not certain about you.
No, we went to the beach.
Yeah, I mean, everybody just went to the beach for a week.
Yes.
Now, if they do go, parents go.
Because
you can't rent a room.
Well, I think that, yes. And I think parents my age are way more protective and, look out and say, okay, we know what's going to go on down there because we did it in 1989. So let me go and supervise this.
Yeah, we just had a week of 18-year-olds debauching at Virginia Beach.
You know, I feel like, us too. God, we went down to Myrtle and debauched for a whole...
Biggie, did you debauch?
Yeah, actually, I probably shouldn't say this, but I mean, my best friend's parents got the condo and left alcohol in the condo for
you.
Yeah.
Well, we took our own, but
in their mind, it was like, oh, you're graduated, you're 18.
It was easier for us. It was legal to drink beer at age 18.
Not for us.
Yeah, that's right. The rules were 100% different.
Not for us. But we got it down there. And I mean, that's the first time I really got really, really drunk. I mean, you heard my story about Patience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was all
like
week.
We're in the room with you.
That was all. That's Poindexter. That was all week. That was all week, I'm telling you. Now, here's this week.
Let's bang on the door. Watch him do that song.
Listen.
I bet you they'll do
it.
This is how it is now, and I can see myself doing this. We took my daughter's friend to the beach this week, and one particular day, I mean, a lot of times they were moving and doing whatever, but one day they just left their phones near us. We were there all day, and they were out in the ocean. Another friend of theirs was down there. They met up with them. They were out in the ocean, then they were at that family's under their umbrella. Yeah. And apparently the dad, unbeknownst to me, of the girl that we had care of, had texted her numerous times, like, where are you? He had tracked her on Life 360 and her phone hadn't moved in hours. And he's like, something's wrong. Because her phone hadn't moved. So he texts my wife and says, what's going on? And she's like, well, they're down the beach. You know, we can see them, but they're down the beach with some other family that we knew. And so he was like, watching her from afar. That's, now we're protected.
I think that's what's caused people to panic more. I think is that we have more access to each other.
Oh, yeah.
Is that because now, before, I mean, you could never look at someone's location.
Well, obviously.
And know. It was like, when we went, my parents were like, okay, try to call us once a day if you can.
Exactly.
And it was from the landline in the condo.
I can't imagine just trusting... But they did at that time. That's what they did. They just trusted us to go. I don't even know if I called them all week.
No calls were placed.
No, and we debauched.
Plus, long distance was expensive.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
you have no idea.
And some would argue that that's why younger folks are more reliant because
I think that's true.
You just figured things out, either good or bad. You had to.
You went through it, and now they're scared. They're way more reliant. 100% right.
There's always this one meme that goes around online, and it says like, I now know where my kids are at all times, but my parents didn't know I was 18, drunk in a field,
Sure.
overnight. They just thought I was at my friend's house.
Of course. That's how it was.
Like, how did I survive?
You don't really know where they are. You know where their phone is, and they're so attached to it, they're always with it. You know, that's why when they left that phone near us and were gone for a few hours, which I thought good for them. You know, they're
That's
not,
a little surprising.
It was
that
stunning.
the girls didn't get their phones.
Yeah.
To take them
They were
down the beach.
Yes, they were in the ocean an hour, floated down to the other folks' beach setup, got out there and stayed there for another hour. And the dad was like, "What's going on? The phone hasn't moved in 2 hours." You know,
I guess be thankful the cops didn't show up.
Yeah, really.
I mean, that's just
A chopper flying low over the beach.
that's what we do.
Where are the girls?
That's right. That's what we do now.
You're stuffing edibles into your mouth. I can't find these.
Listen,
Sir, were you in charge of these 2 young girls' safety? Have a little patience.
I told that story about patience.
Yeah.
Good gracious. Here's the other celebrity story about a singer. The NHL, National Hockey League draft, took place at the Sphere in Las Vegas recently. I didn't see it. Why?
You don't watch because it's at the Sphere.
Yep.
I'll never see the Sphere.
It's too cool a place.
That's right. For me to even lay eyes on, it's too cool of a place. Well, when it came time for the Montreal Canadiens to make their pick, it was, well, first of all, the team president went up there and you thought he was going to make the pick. And he said something in French.
Bonsoir, Las Vegas.
It's good evening.
You hear the reaction, too.
Las Vegas responded accordingly.
Yeah. All he says is bonsoir, Las Vegas.
Bonsoir, Las Vegas.
America! Is he not a liked figure?
I don't know. It sounds like just one guy, too.
Well, it was like 2 or 3 behind him, and one guy in the boo. I don't think there's any particular dislike of him. He just spoke French, and that was it. We're not going. Don't you dare speak French in front of him.
Bonsoir, Las Vegas.
Oh, gross.
To make our 2024 first selection, I'm pleased to invite on stage our #1 fan, the one and only Celine Dion.
Oh my God, Celine!
She's got that disease, the bone
Stiff
disease,
person
stiff
syndrome.
person syndrome. She looked great when she came out, and they're calling it the most dramatic pick in the history of the NHL draft.
With the 5th overall selection in the 2024 NHL draft, the Montreal Canadiens are proud to select Ivan Demidov.
The most dramatic draft announcement of all time.
There it is.
Wow.
You heard
Good
it
for her.
You heard it.
Yeah.
With the 5th pick. Boy, she
She knows how to build
has
it, man.
a flair.
She
for it.
does.
Exactly.
She's very comfortable on stage.
Yeah, and the announcers had said they'll probably pick this guy, and they did. So, and that's exactly what they did. But boy, that was quite a moment there.
Supposedly, there's a documentary out about her life now called I Am Celine Dion. And I want to say that she suffers a seizure on camera.
She
And
does.
They decided to leave that part in because she said, this is my life now.
It's apparently very, very hard to watch because it's very real and you really see what she's going through. You see her on stage and you think, oh, she's dealing with
She's
this
okay.
great. But behind the scenes, it's really rough.
Yeah.
I can't watch that.
No, it's not meant for you.
I can't watch that. Because after I was a tween girl, I was a middle-aged woman.
Yeah.
Mike Bolton.
And some would say you've had stiff person's disease for a while.
Right. Yeah, that's right.
Mariah Carey.
Mariah Carey.
Whitney Houston.
Celine Dion. I moved into that adult contemporary phase of my life.
Yeah.
I was a targeted woman, and I know what it's like. I can't see that. There's no way I can see it.